Can Do Divas. I'm Gianna Franco.
And I'm Chasta Michaelis.
Chasta is dressed so beautifully right now. That's because she's just a couple days of being home from literally crossing off one of the biggest things off your bucket list.
Yeah, probably the biggest. I finally went to Morocco and I had the trip of a lifetime and so much to tell you. So we'll get right to all the good stuff.
Well, we want to hear all the cool details, but first, please tell me about this dress. Who are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing what's called a jalaba. And I bought it in a shop in Marrakesh. And all the women in Morocco, well actually all the men too, wear these.
Mom, we've arrived in Morocco.
Yes, we did.
We're here. Honey.
Yes.
We're here.
So you got to Morocco, obviously very excited. Where was one of the first cities you ended up?
We landed in Casablanca and drove straight to Rabat. Rabat is the political capital, so it's very like, you know, DC. The royal palace is there, which is beautiful, as well as the mausoleum for Mohammed V, which is the last king. Their king right now is Mohammed VI. That was fantastic. It was like a baby Taj Mahal. It was so beautiful. We didn't expect that to be as great as it was. And then the Shala Roman ruins are in Rabat as well, and they were fantastic.
When the Romans came to the Moroccan area, they built a city here, and these are the ruins. You can see some of it. And then now only storks live here. They're everywhere, and you can hear them. Our tour guide said they're speaking French. It's very beautiful. There's lots of tombs, and and little cats. Hi, little kitty. Probably just got all kinds of diseases. Awesome. And then we were just at the mausoleum. Hi. We were just at the mausoleum for Mohammed V, and we got attacked by the henna lady. So I now have a henna tattoo as well as Jay. So we're having a great time. We are on day 3 of our trip, but really day 1 of our tours. And we're going to Fez next. So see you in a minute. We're in the Medina in Fez, and I have to walk fast because if we get lost, I am screwed. It's like 100 million little turns, left, right, everywhere. It's insane. Donkeys carrying trash. Have to watch out for those guys. It's crazy.
Okay, so this Medina place looks like I would love it because there's all kind of shopping.
Oh my God,
you got some cool stuff.
I got some great stuff. I'll show you really quickly some of the things we bought in the Medina.
I love this. I love this.
This is the one thing I knew when I went that I wanted to bring home.
I mean, this is so beautiful.
Because it screams Morocco. They had these lamps hanging everywhere, and in fact, in some of the shops, it was just a whole shop of just lamps. So it just, you know, it called you to it. It was so beautiful. So we bought one of these, and the funny thing is, it's very Mexico. Like everything is haggled. You go back and forth.
Gotcha.
You know,
It's like the bazaars.
It is like Moroccan Pawn Stars. Like you just go back and forth, which my mom is a pro at. My husband's a pro. They loved it. I was not as good. I'm like, oh, 100 dirhams? Okay, here you go. Like, yeah. So we bought that, and then we bought a couple of these. These are called tagines.
What do they use those for?
These are what you eat out of.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you go to a restaurant and they give you this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is quite fancy one. It has the hand of Fatima on it. So yeah, the Medina was insane. It was just, it was an explosion of senses. It was so much your brain couldn't take in. The smells, the yells, it was loud, and just donkeys everywhere coming by. And you would hear this word "bollock" all the time. Bollock, bollock, bollock.
What does that mean?
That means get the hell out of the way.
Okay.
And if you don't, you'll get a donkey kick on your own.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Awesome.
So that was Fez. Fez was fantastic. Fez was also where the tanneries were.
Okay.
And the tanneries were a place where they make leather. Fez is, if you want like great leather, Fez is the place to go. These men get in these huge vats of a mixture of pigeon poo, I know, and that helps break up the leather, and they sit there and stomp on the leather all day and work on it to make it, you know, workable.
So you can see here, this is what they're doing.
Yeah,
like they're
that's
actually
what they're doing.
stomping in pigeon
poo all day. And
Wow.
then once they get through the pigeon poo and they get the leather workable, then they dye it. And so the other men that you're seeing are in the dye. And that's how they work their leather. It's amazing.
So what was interesting, I think what you told me about this is that they can only do that job for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, well, it's so hot there in the summer that you just can't work outside past 1 o'clock. It's just not gonna happen. And it's such a hard job physically that they only do it from about 22 to about 30.
So if you ever hate your job,
Yeah, just think about
of the
that.
guys in Morocco stomping in pigeon poo.
And when you buy your leather and you wonder why it costs so much,
Now you know.
now you know.
Someone walked in pigeon poo for you. Okay, so from there,
So from there, that was the basics of Fez. Fez was just an old medieval city that you really just dug into and felt like you were back 2,000 years ago.
cool.
Like they trade stuff and they, put all their stuff on donkeys and get it to the other side of town. I mean, it's not, as they would say, this is not a cinema. It's not something they put on for Americans to go, oh my God, that's so cool. That's how they live. Like their markets there, that's their Safeway. They go and buy their eggs.
and this is what's cool about or crazy about the market, you said, is that you actually saw meat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we saw meat hanging, a lot of it. It was so funny for me as a vegetarian to go through these because I'd have my mom on my left side and my right side would be Jay, and they'd be going, don't look left, don't look right. And I'm like, because they have chickens, and the person goes and buys the chicken and then they kill it right there.
Wow.
And then you take it home.
But you know what? Here, I mean, we have a lot of complaints sometimes about how our meat's processed. So it goes to show you,
It's
like
organic.
truly organic, right?
It's
How
so
cool.
organic.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So that was Fez, and then we went to the land that my heart is still in is Marrakesh. Marrakesh is absolute insanity. When we got to the square, you can see it was insane.
Okay, so we are in Marrakesh in the square, and it's really loud and really amazing. We're just getting a taste of it today, but we're going to be here all day tomorrow, but I'll kind of show you what's going on here. There's snake charmers and monkey charmers and all kinds of stuff.
So, as you can see, the cobras in Marrakesh, I don't know what got into me. I've never in my life thought, oh, I'd like to have a black cobra wrapped around my head. But these men come up to you and they want you to do it, and you somehow trust them, and I did, and my husband and I sit down and I got blessed. It doesn't show that on the video because it was just so crazy, but I got blessed by one of the cobra. Like, he stuck it to my head and blessed me.
And that's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing.
Okay.
Specifically for fertility, not so much.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have a little baby cobra. We have a little baby cobra while that was going on. So yeah, so Marrakesh, it was fantastic. That's where Sex and the City 2. I know that's kind of silly, but that's where it was filmed.
Also, too, they have the venom, though, right? Just so people know.
Yeah, they have the antivenom in a little
do
bag.
take
So
it.
if anything happens, yeah, they're prepared.
They're prepared. They're prepared.
But it was absolutely fantastic. One thing I have to say about when you're shopping in the souks in the Medina, the people are very aggressive.
Okay.
Because that's how they make their living. They make these handicrafts and they're beautiful, but that's their bread and butter. So they're very serious about wanting you to buy them. So they will grab you and they will really be persistent, but they're also very, very loving and sweet. Like, they're just wanting to explain the quality of it.
Oh, cool.
My dear friend, and they just want you to know it's real leather, which it is, you just saw. They want you to know it's handmade, which it definitely is. You can see the women making them. So they're very aggressive, but in a very gentle, very friendly way. You just have to be able to say, this is what I want to pay for, and that's that. You have to really stand your ground. Because if my mom, I have to tell this quick story. My mom bought some jewelry from the men outside of Marrakesh when we were in Eureka Valley. And they literally, once she bought one, there were 12 guys on her just like that. All very sweet. They just really wanted her business. Of course. She bit, and I'm telling you, it was insane. They actually got on their motorcycles and followed our bus to the next town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a picture of it. It's really funny.
That is dedication. But that's cool.
It was fantastic. And then after that, we went to the Eureka Valley. And that's up in the Atlas Mountains, and that's where the Berber people live.
We're in what's called a Berber village. The Berber people of Morocco are like the natives to Morocco, and they live up in the high Atlas Mountains and middle Atlas Mountains, and they live in these gorgeous houses and very primitive way of living, but beautiful. And we got invited to a home of one of the women here in the Berber village, and she made us homemade pita kind of bread. It's not called pita bread, but something like that. Homemade honey, homemade butter, and homemade olive oil, which was insane. Very beautiful women. So it's incredible. It's called the Eureka Valley. That's the Americanized version of how to say it, but that's basically what it is. So anyways, it's beautiful here. We're spending our morning here, and it sounds like it's time to go. So it's our last day in Morocco. We're in Casablanca. We're in front of the Chasta Mosque, which is one of the most beautiful places I've seen. I haven't been to the Taj Mahal, but I think this is probably as close as I'm going to get for a little while. We can't go inside because we're not Muslim. You can see how beautiful it really is. 80,000 people can pray in here at one time. So you can imagine how huge it is, and it's right on the coast. So you can see how beautiful all the waves coming in. So it's been really great. We just saw Rick's Cafe, so if you're a fan of the movie Casablanca, here's looking at you, kid.
And when you're in Morocco, you obviously have to ride a camel.
We are on a camel. Like, officially riding.
We didn't plan
a camel. We didn't really plan this, but we're both on it. So here we are in Morocco on a camel. See? Camel. We are the epitome of tourists.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my lord. How many camels am I worth?
2,000.
2,000 camels.
Okay, fine.
I met a man there, a Moroccan man, and he said, it makes me teary, he said, to know each other is to know oneself.
Oh, that's nice.
And I thought, wow, you know, that really sticks with me. It's like, you know, pushing yourself out of your limits, and even if you can't move to another place, just pushing yourself to travel and get to know people, because I can't believe I'm getting emotional. We're so quick to judge.
Totally.
You know what I mean? We're quick to judge religions, and it's just so unfair. Because, you know, I don't want to be Muslim. I didn't turn, you know, into a Muslim, but I've learned so much about their religion and their culture, and I have so much respect for them. And it's sad that a small group of people have put such a bad name on the way that they live. It's terrible. So if you get anything out of this trip, it's more about that. Just don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to believe what you hear, not even from me. You know, go yourself and have your own experience and really learn what people there are like and how they live and what they're about, because it's important.
It is, and I think that's why traveling is such an amazing opportunity, because you live in a bubble, and there's so much more to that bubble.
Absolutely, there really is. So I'm a changed person. It was a wonderful place. The Moroccan people are in my blood now, and it will always be like that. So.
Well, I am so glad you had a wonderful time.
Thank
We're so
you.
glad to have you home.
I'm very glad to be home.
You had an amazing experience.
Yes, I did.
So, Chasta's a very can-do diva.
It's my can-do diva international experience. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Absolutely. And don't forget, you can always find us at candodivas.com or email us at candodivas@gmail.com and send us your stories. This is Paisha, by the way.
I know. She's wanting some love.
candodivas.com.
Yeah, I hope this is working. I punched the button, so.